The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello everybody, and welcome to TTV Talks. This is Ben.
I'm Barteran.
I'm LJ.
And I'm Kahi.
Alright, cool.
That was kind of a slow introduction there, Ben.
Yeah, we're prodding
What do
along.
you mean slow, dude?
Like a tortoise.
I might have to delay the intro music a little bit so it fits.
What are you talking about? I said hello, and then I said my name. You guys took forever to say your names.
LJ did take forever to say I'm LJ, but like it's just the way you were saying it.
He probably
man.
fell asleep again.
Oh, come on. It's been a long day, working, being outside in the field.
It's been a long
I don't
day,
know.
and that's why I need to go to sleep, like right now.
Kai,
I wasn't doing anything. I was waiting for my webcam to charge.
okay, first of all, it
forget
wasn't a
things.
webcam. Second of all, I don't think you guys understand physical labor.
What we do understand is that you don't have anything to do with your life because you don't go to school or college.
LJ of all people just said we don't understand physical labor.
Yeah,
you,
gosh
you
dang
do
right.
remember I have 4 jobs, right?
Just
Yes,
talking
sitting around.
to you is physical labor.
It's gonna be one of those episodes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those episodes where you guys just bashing me all the time.
Yeah, bullying me.
Yeah, whatever. Quit crying.
Yeah, and then all your fans are gonna start posting in the comments. Oh, you guys are so mean to LJ. You really need to calm down.
Exactly. I gotta quit all over again. I mean, get fired.
You
All the LJites or whatever we'll call them.
What
Yeah,
the
there's like
heck?
Like the cult.
too much going on there.
The cult of J.
Enough about LJ. You know what? I've been receiving like too much like good news today. I don't know. Lately, I've been feeling really hyped. Like
For
was
all
it
the stuff
Star
coming
Wars
out?
trailer. The Star Wars trailer came out today, man, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
God,
"Oh
so
my
good.
god!" I
It
watched
feels-
that, and it was amazing.
It was a fantastic trailer, and then Battlefront's that trailer's coming out soon as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're doing the actual trailer release on Monday, isn't it? Aren't they doing a release on Monday? Like a new trailer for
That's
Star Wars?
the
Or did I
Batman
miss you that?
versus Superman trailer.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Batman versus
BVS.
Superman. Well, there's never thing to get hyped about. Like, all this Age of Ultron is coming
that
out.
teaser wasn't nearly as good.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
that
that
teaser
teaser
sucks.
sucked.
But the trailer, I'm
The
kind of
trailer
excited for
might
the
be
trailer.
cool, but
yeah, the trailer might be cool, but everything like Star Wars, there's Age of Ultron, there's
The Ant-Man
Jurassic
trailer.
World, the Ant-Man. There's like I
That
have
was-
a list of things that I'm just feeling hyped about.
the new
know what I
Lego
mean?
Star Wars construction line.
Oh my
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
They
talk about that
actually
on
look
TTV.
pretty good.
Look,
They
I
look
mean,
really
like,
good.
Ant-Man, I didn't like the first Ant-Man trailer, but the new one made me so excited for, like, not only that movie, but, like, everything Marvel's doing this year. Like, they're going right off Age of Ultron, which is gonna be, like, one of the biggest movies of the year.
I swear, Age
only
of
the Star
Ultron's
Wars.
gonna have a really, really good payoff. I can feel it.
Ah, it's gonna be
Yeah, dude.
amazing.
I don't know, man. With the Ant-Man trailer, honestly, after just watching Daredevil, at this point I have to just give it to the Marvel. I'm not sure if they can do anything wrong at this point.
I know,
Yeah.
they're doing so many different genres. They're
Dude.
like, Ant-Man's like a comedy heist thing, and then Age of Ultron's this dramatic ensemble, and then Daredevil's like this.
Yeah,
Dark,
speaking of
gritty.
payoffs, Daredevil, man, paid off really well.
Did you interrupt my segue to do
Yes.
a crappier segue?
Because this wasn't your place. So screw you.
I was naturally going into it.
was
Okay, go on.
naturally
All right,
going
fine.
into it.
Fine. Let's see you go. Let's see you
I
do
don't know. I
this.
think that's contending with Meso for segues, guys.
It was fine until Kahi had to stop it to be like, "Did you just interrupt my segue?"
I had to call him out on it.
Dude,
All right,
I'm the
no,
one
go on.
that's bringing up hype. I'm the one that's getting excited about everything. You're just
I'm
being a
excited
killjoy
too.
by trying to argue with me
I'm
about
excited.
it. Oh, did you just interrupt me so that you could bring your hype over my hype?
You forgot, you forgot the voice crack. Did you just interrupt me?
Did you just interrupt me? Daredevil, man. Daredevil.
Was an excellent show.
Such a good payoff.
Dude, I've watched several Netflix's shows now. Orange is the New Black is okay. House of Cards is fantastic.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I was pretty hopeful for Daredevil when they announced it, but I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah, me
So
neither.
I kind of went into this show not really knowing what they were going to do for it. I knew that the violence is probably going to be big because I read a few Kotaku articles on it and stuff. But actually seeing the show, man, it's a fantastic show and
Dude.
also brutal fights.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't
My
know what to
God.
expect either. I didn't even think it was going to be as violent or gritty as it was going to be. I walked into this show just completely blind. Oh, how ironic. But
Oh.
but I really didn't have any expectations. I just thought, "Oh, cool, Daredevil show. Maybe this will do the character justice," unlike that Ben Affleck movie.
But justice
all
is
see
blind. We learned that from the
I
movie.
I still don't think the Ben Affleck movie is that bad as people try to make it out to be.
No, but when you compare it with the show,
I mean, yeah, it's no competition with the show, but I don't
I
know.
get what we're saying though. Yeah, people thought the movie was bad way before the show came out.
oh
Yeah,
no,
it was-
yeah,
it was
no.
given-
I
it was getting
no, I
crap
can
way
agree.
before.
The movie before was it's not that bad. I
Yeah.
actually watched the movie not too long ago. I think I watched it for the first time like a couple of months ago with my friends because we all heard of how bad it was, but we never really watched it. So we were curious and we watched it, and by the end of it, we were just like, wasn't bad, but it was just boring.
It's a good kind of bad. It's like
Is
like
it?
Fantastic Four kind of bad. You know,
Yeah, it
there's
was a
like
little campy.
right.
Yeah,
When Elektra's like, she's in the mansion and the sandbags are dropping and she's slashing at the bed and the music's playing in the background.
Wake me up! Wake me up inside! I probably shouldn't sing that. We will get a content ID match for that song.
Well, okay. I don't know about you guys. I don't know when you guys watched it. I had been following this show ever since they announced Netflix shows for Marvel, and I know all. I mean, I'm a very big comics fan, so I knew Jessica Jones, I knew Luke Cage, I knew Iron Fist, and Daredevil was the most prominent of them. And I will admit, when I first they released a trailer a while back, and I saw that trailer, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. It seems very like Arrow-esque, where the guys where they have a strange fixation on the city, and like instead of just doing good, it's always about the city. That seems to be a running theme nowadays.
Let's make it clear though. The show itself is still very Arrow-esque.
The show, it's still very
I-
Arrow-esque, but it is.
I blame Arrow
I
for
loved it.
trying. I blame Arrow for trying to get into that sort of genre. It seems like Arrow is really trying to push into the Dark Knight sort of territory, whereas Daredevil is just trying to be Daredevil.
Well,
Daredevil,
alright, yeah.
as far as I'm aware, it was never like the most campy kind of character. He was always supposed to be dark and brooding.
Well, not really.
He was kind of campy when he was first introduced. He didn't
Oh
really
yeah, I'm
turn
sure
to-
he was like every other superhero, but I
He
mean,
didn't really turn to that dark, gritty character until Frank Miller took
Right.
control.
Like Frank Miller, when he wrote Daredevil, he worked with Marvel beforehand. He wrote Daredevil into this like really dark and gritty thing, which none of the other comics around there did. And it was because of his run on Daredevil that DC then picked him up to write Batman. And
Right.
when he wrote Batman, then he wrote Batman at the same way he did Daredevil, as this really dark, brooding character. And The Dark Knight Returns, that's basically the basis, I guess the Killing Joke too, but it's basically the basis of every Batman thing from now on. Every time you see Batman being dark and brooding, it's because of Frank Miller, who first did it with Daredevil. So,
yeah.
Daredevil is kind of the first dark, brooding superhero
And
thing.
with that said, he's also currently in the current run of Daredevil comics a bit more lighthearted and a bit more jovial than he is before, or what we've associated with Daredevil up to this point. So really, the show is portraying an older kind of Daredevil than what it's actually being produced in the comics right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. See, that whole thing about Frank Miller is really interesting because I actually never knew about that until you told me about it recently. So because I never followed Daredevil comics before, obviously, because
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if he was actually campy or not, but he always seemed like kind of the type of character with a dark background.
Yeah. I've got this thing where I don't really read a lot of comics, but I read about a lot of comics.
Same
so,
here.
like, I haven't really read a lot of Daredevil comics, but I know a lot about it just because I've read like so much about like articles about the comics themselves and like videos and stuff. But yeah, the show is really great though. The action pretty brutal. Gonna warn anyone listening to this right now, we're probably gonna get into spoiler territory. We've all seen the show at this point. If you haven't seen the show, you really want to see the show, I recommend going ahead and pausing this episode and going to watch it and binge watch it because Netflix is awesome.
Again, if you don't know how Netflix shows work, they actually put up the entire season up for you to watch. So for some of you who are thinking, oh, it might be a show that's released every week, the entire show is already up on Netflix. You can watch it right now, and you really should.
Yep, 13 hours.
Yeah.
13 hours. It's awesome until you're done with it, and then you're like, now I gotta wait a whole year for the rest.
Yeah.
But getting back to the whole Arrow comparisons, watching the show definitely reminded me a lot about Arrow. So if you've seen Arrow and you haven't seen the show and you're still listening for whatever reason, I found that the show is a lot like Arrow, but for adults. It's like they turned up the maturity level of Arrow like by tenfold. So it's like it kind of takes this like Arrow sort of style and setting and then makes it way more darker, way more broody, and way more bloody.
Right, and like less melodrama too. I feel like there's a lot of melodrama in Arrow.
See, you wouldn't even think that this is a Disney show.
No.
That's why
that's
what gets so much confidence after this. It's like whenever Disney took over Marvel, everyone was kind of scared that Disney would completely ruin the franchise and everything. But honestly, like this show is not something I'd ever think would come out of Disney.
Like when you think Disney, the ideas you get in your head will not appear in the show.
Talking animals, singing,
talking animals,
talking animals, happiness, just like lightheartedness,
I did see
cheesy
a thing.
jokes.
I did see a thing, like a post afterwards that said, like, every time I see Daredevil get, like, brutally beat up, I think to myself, somewhere in another corner of this universe, there's a tree dancing to the Jackson 5 with a talking raccoon. Like, every time I see, like, Daredevil's getting, like, pummeled by these 5 guys, and he's like, there's a tree dancing to I Want You Back. Somewhere out there.
I was about to say something, but I forgot.
Hold on, I did want to talk about Arrow again, because I think you were telling me about Arrow not too long ago about how it's kind of out of character for him in the show.
So the thing with Arrow is that it's really clear what they're trying to do with the character of Oliver Queen. Mm-hmm. The show starts off very, as you put it, very Batman-esque. They're trying to go all Dark Knight with it.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do with that show in particular is really evolve Oliver Queen. So he starts off as this kind of dark, brooding rookie character trying to avenge his father and stuff. And he will, over the course of the series run, turn into the more comic book Oliver Queen. He'll evolve into that superhero.
He's a lot more laid back and more comical.
Right now, he's still in vigilante mode, but he's slowly evolving from vigilante to hero. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a cool aspect. However, now that I've got something directly like it to compare to, Daredevil did a far better job with it in a single season than Arrow has so far.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much of Arrow. I've seen a bit of it, and I didn't really... I didn't like it all that much. I don't know. Something about it seemed off, and I think it was because of the whole Batman direction they were taking it in. I'm not used to seeing a Green Arrow character being taken that way. I didn't know that that his character in the show is being progressed that way, though. Now that you tell me that sounds pretty cool. But, man, Daredevil does pretty much the same concept, but so well. I don't know how to compare them, but I'll take your word for it. Because Daredevil does what it does so good.
It's so efficient.
It's basically it takes the show Arrow. It condenses all 3 seasons into one season, so you don't have to worry about all that. It takes all the melodrama, all the typical TV stuff where everyone's like in love or they're breaking up and stuff like that. That crap you don't care about that are really prevalent in TV shows. It also takes off the window dressing. I noticed the first thing I noticed when I watched Arrow's first episode is that everyone is attractive.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like a movie star. Like, it was surprising to me that just everyone looks so attractive. Even, like, his mom looked attractive.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, man, that for like a 60-year-old woman,
Yeah, even she looked attractive.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting, but they kind of take away that window dressing. These characters aren't really like movie star attractive. I guess the guy who plays
they
Matt
look like
Murdock,
average people.
Yeah, the guy who plays Matt Murdock is probably the most attractive of them all, but even then he's got like kind of a goofy face.
I mean, he looks like
Yeah,
he looks
he
like
kinda does.
he looks like a dude that you would see on the street. Like,
Right.
He's
Yeah.
like a person you would meet in real life and be like, hey, I thought he was pretty good looking, but like not like a movie star kind of deal. Especially like Foggy too. Foggy has this thing where like he's not like ugly, but he has a weird, like, not a weird face. But you know what I'm saying, right?
Right, he doesn't have like your typical attractive, handsome face.
It's like, it's
Especially
obvious
Karen.
that they didn't hire like supermodels to play all the characters.
Right.
Yeah, especially Karen too, like you said. Like I noticed with her, she was kind of weird because in some angles she looked really attractive, and then other angles she looked
We
really
were talking
meh.
about this, yeah. While I was watching, like, some angles, Karen looks super attractive. And other angles, she looks like an average person.
Yeah, and I think that's just interesting. Like, they kind of took off that window dressing. These people seem like they're just normal people going about their lives. None of them are super, super attractive or anything. So yeah, it's just like, it's like Arrow. You took off the window dressing, you took out all the melodrama, and you condensed it down into 3 shows. Also, you added a much more mature kind of story to it, and a maturer way of handling it. But even the plot points are actually familiar, like the explosion of the city and everything that happened in Arrow as well.
Well, okay, I feel like the reason why Daredevil is better, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons, violence and, again, window dressing. But I feel one of the reasons that Daredevil stands so strong is that the Kingpin is such a great character in Daredevil.
Dude,
As
I
opposed
wanted
to
to
Arrow,
bring up
where, like,
Kingpin, too.
he's just fighting against some people. In the first season, he's just going against, like, rich people who have scammed the city, basically.
Right.
That's his entire thing.
Yeah.
And in Daredevil, you not only see Matt Murdock's, kind of progression to becoming Daredevil, we see the Kingpin's rise to power as well. Even though he kind of is in power at the beginning of the show, he's dealing with all the mobs, he's dealing with all the, these different international
exactly
people.
Yeah, it's exactly like how they introduced Daredevil, where they're both already doing their thing, but as the show progresses, you start to see their backstory, and you get to know them as
They become the
people.
familiar character that you used to.
Dude, Kingpin, man. I actually give a about Kingpin.
I loved Kingpin as a villain. That's how you set up a good villain. Like, you show him.
So the thing with villains for me, I am sick and tired of seeing sympathetic villains. Spider-Man, practically every single one of his villains in the movies were handled as being sympathetic. And it got kind of annoying when you've got like characters who are meant to clearly be evil and just psychotic, and they're just kind of they're given this big backstory to make them kind of be sympathetic to the audience. And a lot of villains are handled that way nowadays. But I also don't want to see a villain who's just bad to be bad. That's not really entertaining
Unless
to
it's
watch.
the Joker.
Unless it's the Joker, because the
Joker's
Joker
the
has a lot
exception.
of personality about it.
Right.
So I really appreciate the Kingpin, because what they did a great job of taking this guy and making him clearly psychotic, clearly evil, very much a bad person, but he's not really sympathetic. It's not like he was forced into this, or like he kind of tripped on something or accidentally did a bad experiment that made him go crazy. No, he's crazy. He's just crazy. But he's also believable. He's got his own motives for doing what he's doing. He thinks he's helping out the city, but he's doing it in a bad way. And I don't know. I didn't find his backstory too sympathetic that much, and I appreciated that, because it gave me a reason to believe why he was a villain without sugarcoating his villainy.
Yeah.
Right. He does some stuff that clearly you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, you're
This is
clearly
why-
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He chokes Ben Urich to death. My God.
Oh my
Spoilers.
god, that was sad. That was really sad.
I thought Ben Urich was going to be a big character in Jessica Jones and
me
and
too.
Spider-Man. I was
Well,
like,
no, I
I
didn't
like
expect
this
that,
guy.
but-
His wife is really nice. He seems like a really cool character.
I know. I legitimately thought they brought Ben Urich into this because he was going to be a prominent figure in Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
This is
Yeah,
how
that's
they're-
what I thought,
This
too.
is how they're going to introduce him. But no, they killed him. Like, they killed him off. I'm like, wow, that
yeah.
surprising. It seems like they would use that plot point for Spider-Man.
You know, I guess it really helps that I don't know. I came into this entire show not knowing anything about Daredevil lore. I know who Kingpin was because of the Spider-Man cartoon. Big guy in big white suit.
That's how I first heard of
But
him, too.
I did not know anything about Kingpin, Ben, Daredevil, nothing. So honestly, that scene didn't surprise me a bit. Simply because I didn't know who the character was. Yeah, it was a very tense scene. He showed up, and I really didn't think it was like how they did it earlier with Karen. You know, that they kind of made it a dream sequence. I didn't get that impression, and I've seen that scene played out so many times throughout so many other different TV shows. I kind of got that feeling, and I'm pretty sure if I knew who that character really was in the comics, I probably wouldn't have seen that coming.
So you expected Ben to die?
Yes. At least, as soon as the scene
before
started.
that scene.
No.
Oh,
as soon as the scene
that's
started, I
irrelevant.
expected him to die. Not before that.
Okay, well that's different.
Okay.
Because I didn't expect him to die until that.
I will admit, I was expecting something bad to happen. They spent too much time with just sitting on Ben with nothing really going on, with no like music or anything, that I knew something was about to happen.
Yeah, it's either they're developing his character so that you know him for the rest of the series, or they're developing his character so that you can feel really bad when they take him away.
The thing was, they have to end it on... So far, the entire show has ended each episode on a big note, or like some kind of cliffhanger or something. So the fact that I was watching this episode, and the last scene... Like, the show is clearly about to end. Like, I know the time frame of the episodes. So the fact that the last scene is on Ben for such a long period of time with no music or anything, and he's just sitting on his desk going through articles and stuff.
Yeah.
It did get obvious that something bad was about to happen. I just didn't think they'd actually commit to it.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought that he was
didn't think they were
maybe
gonna
his
kill
legs would be
him.
broken.
I thought
or something.
I thought he was just gonna get hurt.
Yeah, they went all out, and that really surprised me. With that said, though, that scene in particular, and just like the sequence that led up to that, really annoyed me. It made me dislike Karen a lot.
I know. I remember after this, you were like, "I didn't like Karen." I hated
Karen because she got Ben killed.
Oh well,
he didn't want to go. She tricked him into going by baiting him into thinking this would be a great place to put his dying wife.
That was a jerk move.
Ben got killed because he was looking for a good home for his wife. He didn't want any part of this. He was trying to quit. Karen killed Ben. That's what happened.
I mean, okay, I would agree with you. Like, I hate it when that thing happens if they don't address it. But very clearly, Ben is pissed off at Karen for a while for doing that. He's like, "You should have not done that to me." And she apologizes. He's like, "Okay." And then later on at his funeral, she goes up to his wife. And he's like, "This is totally my fault. I think I got him killed." And his wife is like, "You know what? If he wanted to pursue something, he would totally pursue something." So if he really didn't want to go, he wouldn't have gone with you.
But he didn't pursue it. He didn't pursue it.
He was going to write the article. He sat down to write the article
after he already got the information. But he knew that if he got that information, he'd want to write the article. That's the thing. He avoided that. He went out of his way to no longer get any information and stop the investigation so that he would stop trying to write the article. She tricked him into getting that information that he did not want to possess.
No, I get you. I just, I don't feel that it is necessarily Karen's fault.
Yeah, I kind of don't really either.
Ah, God, you guys. Come on.
Come on, dude.
She definitely tried to fool him and doing something else, and he was mad at her, and she at the end she was like, "I deserve this."
She used his dying wife to get him killed.
She didn't know what would get him killed.
No. Yeah, she didn't know.
What do you mean she didn't know? How many times did Ben tell her to stop doing what you're doing because you're going to get killed?
Well, I mean,
that was a common theme throughout the first 5 episodes. He literally caught her in the act trying to do stuff that would get her killed, and he was like, "You need to quit. This is how you get caught."
Well, that's pretty hypocritical considering what happened to him. But
he didn't want to.
So it's his fault. That's his fault.
It's not his fault for looking for a place for his dead wife.
I kind of wonder.
Fault for dying.
I kind of wonder if the Spider-Man deal came through too late for him to save him in Daredevil. If Sony had decided to, all right, let's do this a year ago, then Ben Urich would still be alive because they would. I wonder if they're like, all right, let's use Ben Urich, and someone's like, oh, we already killed him. It's already filmed and in a can. It's gonna be released on Netflix, and he's like, gosh, dang it.
I don't know, man. I felt really bad for him. I felt like he died and he didn't deserve to die.
I do agree with
Karen's
that.
fault.
I wish Ben Urich had not died as well.
And it was really, Karen in general was just really annoying me how she kept pursuing the story despite the fact that everyone was like, can you just not do this? Can you, or at the very least, leave me out of it? Not only was she so obsessed with it that she ignored all the warnings, but she brought other people into it and then got them killed for it. And that just really annoyed me. And she was just so annoying about it. The entire show.
You know what? You're annoying about it.
Okay.
No, you need to let this go. It wasn't her fault.
Var has some merits to what he's saying, but
no, yeah, he does.
I don't think that. I mean, obviously, if Karen knew that Ben would get killed, she would have never let him there.
Yeah,
it's not like, and she acknowledged it. And
she absolutely knew that everything that she could do at this point on could get her or someone else killed.
Well, could's different from would.
Yeah,
it is funny though.
Oh my gosh.
One thing I didn't really get is how they figured out that Ben Urich, like how the Kingpin figured out that Ben Urich
how
was
he
the
found
one.
him.
Yeah,
I didn't get that either.
I don't know how he found him and didn't find Karen.
I guess that's what Karen thought too. because
Ben's a prominent figure. He's just he's like a public figure.
Yeah,
I imagine
but
it's not that hard to find him compared to Karen, who's just some nobody.
Oh, doesn't
true.
Kingpin's mom only remember Karen though?
No, she remembered both of them.
No, she remembered she remembered Karen because when she kills Wesley's like, normally I didn't think she'd remember, but she was really keen on like the pretty girl with the eyes that came to talk to me.
Huh. Honestly, I don't remember. I went on a freaking whole day marathon.
Wait, no. Kingpin called her too. Remember, he called her in the car to ask what was going on. And she was having like issues remembering. He was like,
yeah,
you're right.
That could be it.
I forgot about that. Yeah, and he was like, "Can you remember?" Yeah,
dude, I feel so bad for Kingpin's mom.
I felt that way during the flashback sequences. You guys were talking earlier about not being sympathetic for Kingpin. I felt sorry for his childhood, and I understand.
Yeah,
it was very well
really
written
sad.
how he, because of all that, became what he is. But man, his
dad was a monster.
I love that thing where his dad's like, "All right, you look at the wall, and then like until you decide what you're going to become."
That was really good.
That was
really
because they
that.
set up that thing of the snowstorm, and I was like, "That picture's kind of weird." And then the last shot is him staring at the new blank wall of his cell. This time,
his jail cell.
Dude.
Yeah,
like, yes.
That was really clever.
Yeah, so good. That was really good writing.
So well written. I love all the allusions to the devil too. I mean, I don't want to get too much into like religion and all that, but
Which
I'm just
show
going to say that I really
does.
liked all the alluding.
The show does.
That surprised me actually. I didn't expect that.
Daredevil is like
Daredevil
there's
is
not
very
a lot of characters that have like a religious thing in comics, but Daredevil is very Catholic. Like being Catholic is a big deal for Daredevil. And there's a lot of
quite the driving force for him.
Yeah.
With that said, something that I really, really like about Daredevil, I super appreciate the fact that he's religious.
Yeah.
There aren't really any religious superheroes, or at least they're not like prominently religious. Daredevil is very religious.
Yeah, up until this point, Captain America was like the closest thing to a religious superhero for me, just because he said he believed in one god.
Right. The thing I really like about this, though, is that it actually gives him a reason to not kill people.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Which is something that I find so tacked on for most heroes, especially Batman, who has the Joker, who constantly goes out, murders people, threatens his friends, harms his friends, and does
kills
stuff.
his friends.
Kills his friends, where it'd be so much better if Batman would just kill him. Just get rid of him so he'd stop. It makes no sense that Batman doesn't kill the Joker. Here, though, it makes sense.
Right, because Daredevil, because of his prominent religion and what people think of the afterlife, it's very important to a lot of Christians. Right, especially Catholics, or I mean, not especially Catholics. To the majority of Christians, but like in this Catholic context, yes, very prominent.
So I think that actually gives some justification to his reasoning for not killing his enemies, and I think that's nice to have because, like I said, it just feels so tacked on for most heroes.
Hi, Superman.
Right. And I mean, it also like
Superman.
it gives him this another side of him that that seems more developed, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
it also helps.
Right.
It also helps with establishing the iconography of the devil and everything. Also, with that said, that whole the devil instills fear in people, that makes so much more sense than a bat.
I know.
Oh yeah, that really does.
That whole thing makes so much more sense.
Because people in reality actually do fear the devil. That's an actual thing that happens. I mean, a giant bat.
People fear vampires, I guess.
Well, no, come on.
Do
It's
some people are kind of scared of
bats.
bats?
Fuzzy.
Definitely much better.
Bats are adorable.
Yeah. You see like a little fruit bat, you want to feed it a banana.
It's like being afraid of Spider-Man because you're scared
afraid
of
of spiders.
Yeah, it's like
That is true.
exactly.
They're still
The
man,
spider
man.
scares people.
That's one thing I always did question about Batman. It was like, I know he's intimidating and everything, the way he goes about his business, but the one thing I never got was how criminals could be so scared of a quote-unquote giant. Well, then again, giant bat would kind of freak me out too if I just saw one in a dark alley.
I mean, I believe it's
It's
because
not
the
like he really
criminals think
looks
he's
like
like
a
a
bat, though.
supernatural vampire monster. Like they believe he's more than human, and that he can do like all this crazy stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not very well known that he's just a
actually,
normal dude.
no, you're
you know?
right. It is. Come to think of it, that Batman has like a bunch of rumors going around about him.
Right.
Like it's all spread of word. The fear is.
And
all
he's like a
spread of word.
ninja too, so he can like appear and
Yeah,
disappear.
unlike Daredevil in the show, who's highly publicized, Batman isn't really.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
He's a myth.
But with that said, with that newest Batman versus Superman teaser trailer, which by the way is really stupid, it did give a nice shot of the new Batman cowl, and I will say that cowl, the way it's designed, that's pretty creepy looking. If I saw that at night, I'd be kind of scared.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Kinda.
again, I want to make it clear to anyone who's listening to this after the fact, we are not talking about whatever Superman, Batman thing is going to be released on Monday. There's like a new trailer. We don't know if it's good or bad. We're talking about the teaser, which anybody
teaser
listening
for
past
the
this point will
trailer.
not see it. Yeah, the teaser for the trailer, which is half a shot of recycled footage of Man of Steel about Superman's costume, and about like maybe 5 seconds of new footage of Batman's costume, and then the
It's
logo.
not even footage. It's just a picture,
Just a picture.
of the cowl, and
Yeah,
it like
it's
zooms in
basically
on
a
it.
picture.
It helps for me because I watched that. I hadn't seen Man of Steel yet, so that was new to me. So
Whatever.
All right, sure. Your ignorance made it better for you.
LJ, that scene is literally the first scene in Man of Steel where you see the Superman suit. It's like the big reveal in the movie.
well, that's garbage.
It's hilarious that they just ripped that scene out of the movie and added it to the trailer, pretending like it was new, that we wouldn't realize it.
Can we? All right. Can I talk about my favorite shot in Daredevil?
No.
Go ahead.
Which is in episode 2 at the very end. There's a scene where he goes and rescues that kid from the Russians, and it's all in one take, and it's a pan shot.
Yeah.
My God, that is probably some of the best cinematography and choreography I've ever seen, because
Dude,
everything works in that.
I couldn't believe that. I could not believe that they did that all in one take.
When one take. And the thing about the choreography too is that everything, it feels so realistic. Everything, when Daredevil's going up, he takes several hits to, down a guy, and sometimes he'll hit a guy and he'll go down, and the guy will get back up again after a while, and and charge at him again, like you would in a normal
that's so
fight.
important. That's so important because nothing else does that.
Right. He's not like
Yeah.
Captain America where he just punch and then they're down
They're
forever.
just gone
Right.
forever.
And you see the people from behind him come back up at him again. And
It's funny
go
that was
back and
all in
forth.
one shot, though. I have to wonder if anyone's taken that clip and just added like a Seehaw song to the background. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier. It's like a microwave is flying out of the room into someone's head. By the way, that was hilarious.
That was
by
pretty
the
funny,
way.
yeah.
The guy's just walking up, looks into the room, boom.
That reminds me of that whole April Fool's teaser Deadpool interview thing.
Oh yeah, with Deadpool. By the way, that suit looks really good.
That suit does look
Oh
fantastic.
my gosh,
Which
yeah.
one?
Segue.
Dude, all of these suits, they're really nailing.
Well,
nail
okay,
on the
well, hold
dot
up,
with
hold
all
up.
of these. What?
I don't know about Daredevil's suit, if I'm being honest. I don't, it's like Karen. At some angles, it looks really awesome, and some other angles, I feel it looks kind of corny.
I'll agree with the mask.
Yeah, the mask. The mask is basically what I'm talking about. It's just the mask.
Yeah.
Everything else looks cool.
Everything else, yeah.
Great. But the mask, I kind of honestly, I like the imagery that he had as the man in the mask, where like everything is covered except for his mouth, like even his eyes, and that it's almost like a visor over his face. I like that imagery a lot. I get the horns for Daredevil, but because that's a big thing for him, but I kind of wish they had done something different with the costume. In a way.
I heard it was
mask.
I heard it was based off of Secret Wars, the costume he had in Secret Wars.
Not. I mean, red and black. I guess maybe they're referring to the color scheme, but that's nothing like any costume Daredevil has ever worn.
Really?
Right.
Huh.
The thing with the costume, I thought the costume itself was fine. The actual suit was fine. The only issue I had with was with the mask.
Yeah.
The mask looked really goofy, especially at certain angles. And I think I kind of blame the actor's face, because he does have sort of a goofy face. Like, his lips are really weirdly wide and stuff, and
he's got
his
like
nose
chubby
is super
cheeks.
puffy. Yeah. So he looks fine outside of the mask, but with the mask on, it does kind of pronounce those features. I think the mask itself is just improperly designed. It seems like the eyes are just too low. Like the brow,
definitely.
Like the brow is trying to do this whole thing where it looks like it's angry, but it's just too low. So it like covers up the eyes a lot, and then it gets rid of the bridge of the nose on the mask. So I don't know. It just makes his face look really squished.
Right.
And the forehead just looks too big. It's like the cowl's looking down, whereas he's looking forward.
Yeah.
Oh, my feet.
So I mean, I like the idea that they had for it. I think the horns look better on this mask than they did in the Ben Affleck suit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But overall, I think the mask needs some reworking. But the suit itself, I thought looked perfectly fine. It'll be cool to get it all in red and to get a DD symbol on it. But as they said in the show, it is just a work in progress.
Do you think they'll ever do like
finished.
the corny like grappling hook thing for his how do you say eskrima sticks? Like the stick, basically the sticks he has.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine so. It seems pretty
Dude,
prominent
I
for
really love
Daredevil in
seeing the
comics.
sticks.
The sticks
Speaking
are
of
pretty
sticks, dude,
Stick.
cool. Oh yeah,
say
sticks.
my favorite character on the show so far is Stick.
I
He
cannot
makes
see
me laugh
how.
so much.
I love that guy. I
didn't
really
like
did.
him
Yeah,
at
I
all.
didn't like him very much at all.
I thought he was great.
I mean, yeah, no,
That's-
he's a jerk.
Yeah,
There's
he's a total jerk.
They
But
don't-
he's
they
not
don't
like
give you much of a reason to like him at all, but I still like him.
Yeah.
He's
I
hilarious.
like that you don't have you have a mentor character that is just like
Oh yeah, where he's trying to be like your father. And this guy really doesn't want to be. He just wants to be
does
a
not
jerk.
he's like I want to train I want to train a warrior, and he's like he's berating warrior. He's berating Matt for all this stuff. No, he does.
All right, son, I'm going to train you into the biggest soldier that you can be.
Hey, Daddy, I got you this
You
bracelet.
disappoint the family.
Training's over.
What?
He just walks out, never to be seen again.
For like however many years too. I couldn't believe that, man. I was like, really? That's the last time you saw him?
That's
I
pretty.
mean,
It
here's the
was
thing,
pretty
though.
harsh. That character he's a jerk, but I loved seeing him on screen. He was like, yeah.
But I mean, why'd he keep it then? Why'd he keep it?
Because
And then
that's
still
something
leave?
to find out later.
No, like he still cares about the kid.
It's part of
like,
the
he's still, like,
lesson
a
for
but
Matt,
like,
I think. It's like it's not like he didn't care about him. It's not like he didn't
Right.
want to be that father figure, but that's not the purpose of his training. So he didn't want Matt to catch
Right.
on to that. He wanted Matt to be this hard soldier, and to do that, he had to walk out.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work, so moot point.
It kind
Just to
of
be-
worked.
Yeah, actually,
it kinda works. He's still
I
Daredevil.
completely
Daredevil,
disagree.
yeah, it
He's
kinda
Daredevil
works.
now. By not training him, it actually trained him.
Yeah, I guess.
right.
Stick is
And of
like
course-
the best freaking teacher ever.
Now, okay, the guy that he was talking to at the end of that episode, I looked up who he was, and I forgot really what the connection is, but I believe he's a member of the Hand, which will hopefully come into
what
prominence.
about the fist or the palm?
I thought the Japanese
Or the
faction
palm.
was the Hand.
No, the Japanese faction works for the hand.
Oh.
Well, they're not actually.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what Elektra is from, and Bullseye apparently will come in.
Yeah,
kinda soon
that'll
as well.
probably be the prominent storyline for season 2 is the hand coming in.
The hand, right. And I mean, personally, I think Madame Gao is going to be a big part in Iron Fist. Because at the scene where she goes, she's leaving away. She's going away, and the other guy, I forget his name. He's the owl. He's supposed to be the owl, the criminal, the owl. And he says, "Are you going home to China?" And she's like, "No, I'm going home to my home is much farther away than that." And I believe that is the sacred city where Iron Fist trains.
Oh, I was gonna make a joke like Viria.
Young. No, I wish.
Yeah,
Man.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
See, Fantastic
Rest in
Four is not
peace.
on my hype list.
It's not on my
It is
hype
not.
list either.
And I'm going to pirate that movie. Even if I hear it's amazing, I'm going to go pirate it.
Aw.
Even if you hear
Wow.
it's fantastic.
I haven't
I'm-
heard you
I'm
say you're
not
going to
gonna give
pirate
it-
anything in a while, so that really says something.
I'm not going to support the movie. I can't support this movie. I want it to go back to Marvel. If Fantastic Four tanks at the box office, Marvel will get the rights back.
Yeah, thank God.
And we need to see Doctor Doom in the Marvel Universe. We really do. Fine, maybe we don't have the Fantastic Four, but we need Doom, we need Galactus.
I don't really
we
want
need
to
those
feel because I'm
characters.
pretty satisfied with Fox's handling of their line of movies so far. They're doing a way better job than Sony was doing, so I don't mind. Like Days of
They
Future
are.
Past,
They are.
really
It's
good.
just-
I'm liking what they're doing with Deadpool so far.
Deadpool. Yeah, no, I get that. Fantastic Four works when they're in a universe. They work best. This is in the comics, as well as movies. Their own comic is only okay, but whenever they're a part of something else, that's when they really shine.
Yeah, like Civil War. That's where I'd really like to
Or
see that.
Time Runs Out. What's going on now? Jonathan Hickman's series.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright, well, I think we've run this discussion quite dry.
Yeah,
don't you
speaking of
Vanessa?
time runs out.
oh, I want to talk about Vanessa too.
Oh, Vanessa.
I love Vanessa. Vanessa's one of my favorite
Okay,
characters.
I don't know who Vanessa is.
That's Kingpin's wife.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean, I don't know if she's like a comic character I should know
She
about
is.
or not.
No, she's just
Yeah,
Kingpin's
she's
wife.
Who
Oh,
that's all she
cares?
is. All I want to say on that topic is that I absolutely love it. This show helped me realize this. I absolutely love evil couples.
I love
House
evil
of
couples.
Cards with Claire and Frank.
And Frank.
Oh my gosh. Daredevil, Vanessa
Jared.
and Fisk. Oh my gosh. I want to see more evil couples.
Batman, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn and Joker. Yes. I want more evil couples. They're so entertaining.
They're great because it is a redeeming part of this villain.
Right. It gives them
Wilson Fisk.
humanity because they have this person they
Right, it
can
gives
share.
them humanity and right. And Vanessa is not an evil person, but she's willing to become evil. And that's
Yeah.
the thing that
And
I
Fisk
admire
is
most
willing
about
to
it.
do everything, regardless if it's good or
Right.
bad, just for her.
Right.
She's,
and
she's like a bad motivation for him.
exactly.
It's also
but I love that she's not his moral compass or the person that restrains him, but she's the person that really empowers
Right.
Fisk to do anything he wants.
And it adds a bit of comedy to it as well. Not so much a laugh out loud comedy, but just kind of just humor in the fact that Fisk and Vanessa are on a date, and one of his gangbangers comes in and he's like, "Hey, I gotta talk to you," and he's like, "You embarrassed me," and then crushes his head in
front
a
of
car.
her, and he bashes
Dude, that was crazy.
You see,
that was great.
The Kingpin I knew about was this really ruthless guy, and then I saw that, and then what he did to the Russian, I was like, okay, yeah, now I at least I know that about him.
Yeah.
No, the Kingpin is
So good.
oh my god,
Such an entertaining character.
That character was great to see on screen, and again, Var, seeing a non-sympathetic, and not a guy who really is, good deep down inside and trying to do, he's really evil deep down inside, and he tries to be good for the majority of the series. He tries to do this thing to rebuild Hell's Kitchen and all that, and it all goes downhill. So he's like, all right, screw it, I am the ill intent.
Yeah, the ill intent, that speech he had, that was an
That was a
interesting
good
scene.
one. I feel like that's the new I am the one who knocks is I am the ill intent.
Well, I feel like we could probably talk about this for another 40 minutes, but
We could.
Daredevil's
we
a
gotta
great
wrap it
show.
up.
But we're gonna have to do it off
yeah,
recording.
unfortunately. Yeah, everyone should definitely check out the show, though. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Daredevil in Infinity War or Civil War.
Yeah.
I can't wait
really
to
hope
see Daredevil in any movie. Now.
I hope a part of Civil War is something that leads to Kingpin breaking out of prison.
I can't wait to see Daredevil and Spider-Man share the screen.
You know,
yes,
I wonder, like,
yes, me too.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I'm so used to seeing Daredevil next to Spider-Man.
I'm used to seeing Daredevil. Spider-Man next to Deadpool.
Okay, yeah, Spider-Man and Deadpool would be awesome.
Spider-Man and Deadpool are an awesome team.
I hope they do that.
That's
That would be
not gonna
absolutely
that
hilarious.
happens because Daredevil's
wish.
Fox. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, hey, Sony and Marvel are working
Deadpool.
together. We can hope.
I keep saying Daredevil when I mean to say Deadpool. Oh, this is gonna get confusing.
Dang it.
I know, it's gonna be like back and forth. You know, I wonder, is Daredevil on the Index run by
I
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
wonder. Let's end this.
I forgot.
I guarantee you he's not. He's not superpowered. He's just a normal guy. I doubt S.H.I.E.L.D. even realizes.
No, Daredevil is superpowered.
He is.
He's
He
totally
is superpowered,
superpowered.
but it's so constrained that I doubt anyone even realizes he's superpowered.
I guess he's just having enhanced
Right.
senses.
It's not really much of a superpower. I doubt.
So, like, his identity would not be put out when they uploaded everything
Yes.
from S.H.I.E.L.D. onto the
Absolutely.
internet. That's not Daredevil's not part of that.
I
Okay.
guarantee you S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's-
doesn't even
I
realize
thought so
Daredevil
too.
exists.
But, you know, crossovers. All right. Sorry, Ben.
Take us out.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Get hype. Daredevil 2015. Go watch it if you haven't on Netflix or pirate it. Do whatever you can to watch this show. It's so
I wish we had
good.
a partnership
Anyway,
with Netflix.
yeah.
And if you didn't think we
because
covered
that's
anything,
apparently the right
feel free
thing
to
do.
continue the discussion of the TTV Message Boards at board.tvpodcast.com.
Or
Yeah,
in the
we should
comments,
talk about that.
but especially the message boards
Daredevil.
because we need activity there.
Want to read up on Daredevil material? I'm sure there's something on audible.com. Try to get in audibletrial.com/TTV to get your free audiobook of any choice that you desire. I don't actually know if there's going to be any Daredevil anything on Audible.
If you end up watching the show and you love it so much, don't worry, we'll make a shirt for Daredevil. No.
Yeah, one that you can
Anyway. Nah.
You know something I liked is that Daredevil's tie was always really messed up. Like it wasn't like ever properly done.
I'm glad he never said the words "Justice is blind."
Oh.
I'm glad they had interesting characters in this one instead of.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Then.
Adios.
Yeah, like everything.
Your
Bye.
name?
All right, this is Ben.
This is Var.
This is LJ.
And this is Kahi.
Thank you all for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. See ya.
Goodbye.